Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. On this video I'll talk you guys through this vocal that I've mixed with Analog Obsession plugins. As you can see, I'm talking about the main channels, but on the buses I've used other third-party plugins solely because Analog Obsession does not have those plugins. Things like hall reverbs, delays, flangers and stuff. But we will concentrate mainly on the main treatment of the vocal, which are these ones. As you can see, these are the plugins in display. So let's actually listen to the vocal width. Then I'll bypass the plugins and you can hear them as well. Then I can obviously show you guys what I've done to it. Let's get into the video.
Trying to figure out where that went wrong. The pain reflected in the song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please. Together, who else am I gonna lean on when times get right? Who's gonna talk to me? The phone till sun comes up. Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better now, baby, baby. We belong together, baby.
So let me go ahead and take off all these plugins so we can actually look at them one at a time. So let me also solo the vocal alone so we can actually hear it, what is adding, without the other bit distracting us.
Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where that went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe.
As you can hear, there's been a better improvement with the plugins on compared to when the plugins were off. I can also maybe bypass this other effect. Let's just hear it without the effect actually.
Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where that went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please.
So that's obviously the plugin without, which is the raw, with no effects, no track treatment, and also with the all Analog Obsession plugins that we used. So the first thing we got here is the SWEETVOX, which on this SWEETVOX, obviously there's so many things happening under the hood here on this process, but I didn't use it at all. According to the manual here, obviously there's a combination of compression, dynamic EQ, and some static EQ, I believe, but I didn't use it. So I only used it solely for the de-esser. So I only used the de-esser bit. As you can see, at 74% was just giving me enough of de-essing that I needed. So that's followed by the SSQ, which is the emulation of SSL plugin EQ. So I'm actually boosting 8K by 4.5 dB, and I'm also notching just over a dB at 3.5K, and also another 2 dB notch at about 4.5-ish, 4.5, which is 450 hertz. And there's also 2 dB notch at 200 hertz. This is obviously a low shelf. There's a bit of high pass 20 hertz, but I didn't go further on this because on the main channel I've got this channel EQ that I was doing a bit, but without this I would have gone maybe 80 hertz on this high pass or 100, but because of that I didn't engage that much. So the main thing doing other work is this, which I'm adding a bit of 5K by a dB. And I'm also adding 4K, I think at 10 kilohertz is where this high is set. Then a bit of compression. Let's actually listen to this with just these two first.
Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where the hell I went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby.
So let me go ahead and throw in the STEQ.
Of LA. Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where the hell I went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby.
As you can see, we are getting about 3 dB of compression, and obviously with the EQ that I've explained previously. That's followed by KONSOL, which is a bit of a saturation. I also boosted a bit of the high by 1.3, a bit of the low bump, because I felt like after this compression, the low end was not as I wanted it. So I've also obviously pushed the input to get a bit of saturation going. Let's have a listen to that.
Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where the hell I went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside.
So after that KONSOL, I throw in LALA, which is another opto compressor emulation of the famous LA2A. So I'm also aiming to get about 3 dB of compression. Let's have a listen to that again.
Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where the hell I went.
So as you can see, that's obviously what I've done to this vocal. But when I added all these other ones like the reverbs, the flangers and stuff, I felt like the vocal was slightly a bit sharp. So I added another SWEETVOX, which is just same de-esser that I'm using, just so it tames what these other ones have added. But as you can see, I rolled it back. This is on 64% because the first one was on 74%. So I actually pulled it back so it's not de-essing a bit much, but at least it does enough so it doesn't sound too harsh to the ears. So that is it, guys. Let's now listen to it with everything in again. This is it with, and I'll bypass it quickly.
I'm feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where the hell I went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard. Hey, feeling all out of my element, throwing things, crying, trying to figure out where the hell I went wrong. The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. I need you back in my life, baby. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please. Together, what's an Magdalene on the time? Get her out. Who's gonna talk to me before the sun comes up? Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better now, baby, baby. We belong together, baby.
As you can see, with those 5 plugins, it actually made this vocal sound crispy and radio ready. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and go ahead on the description box to see the download link for this vocal chain. Thank you guys, and see you guys in the next video. Bye now.